Sorry, I am a little late. I was in Batay just now, and I was gonna stay in Batay, but I decided just to hurry back home. So, how you guys doing? Let me get my glasses here. Hold on one second. Oh, and you know what? Let me turn the internet off there. Lisa, I'm here. uh, how's the internet connection? You guys getting a good feed from me here? Let me know. I am at home right now. I was in Batay. I was at my new favorite spot in Batay, and that is Margot Restaurante. OMG. It is my favorite spot. I gotta tell you. All right, looks like I'm getting a good feed here. It's my favorite spot right now. I've been there before, and the prices are right. Everything's just great. The service is amazing. You know, outside there's a wonderful patio. It's comfortable. It's like covered in patio, but nice and fresh breeze going through. Or if you prefer to dine in with the white tablecloth, it's amazing. It's Margot. Today I ordered sushi, rainbow sushi. I took a photo of it. Oh, it was so delicious, so fresh. They have, I would say, the best sushi in town. And then I also ordered a salmon salad. I have it right here beside me. Hold on, I'll show you what it looks like because I'm going to be eating it for my dinner. Comes in this nice little container. And it's so fresh. And the salmon is so delicious, you know, just great. I really appreciate beautiful quality and wonderful service at reasonable prices. And I got to tell you, after being in that restaurant today, I had like one glass of wine, and then I got some sparkling Canada Dry water. And I was like, I'm good. You know, it's not about going to a restaurant and feeling unfulfilled. It is fulfilling. The food is great. Like I said, the service is great. The prices are awesome. I was in a restaurant the other day in Batay, and 2 glasses of wine came up to 800 pesos. Oh boy, was I ever livid. And I always big up that restaurant. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to dash anyone. But I didn't know that they increased their glasses of wine to 350 pesos. Today, I had a whole entire, it was called Rainbow Row. So Rainbow Row of sushi. Wonderful and fresh, like I said. And then also this salad. And then I had a glass of wine and I had a coffee. And everything came up to 1,400 pesos. That's under $30. And that was for like 2 meals pretty much because I bought this one to bring home, right? Salmon salad is usually like $13 in Canada, especially something this fresh. So let me see here. Oh wow, lots of hellos here. Moez, Joe, hey guys, thank you. Moez Music. And PL, hola, hi, hello. Then we have Jackson Jeter. How are you? You like Margot? I like the Italian joint a few feet down from there. Bologna. I haven't been there yet, but I love Margot. Margot. I love it. And I met the owner today, actually, and her real name is Margarita, and we got to talking, and I had mentioned to her because the Delancers own that. I didn't realize that Margarita Delancer is actually Margot, and Delancer is one of the main internet providers here, the Delancer family. And I always say to you guys, I prefer Delancer over Claro. Now, this is not to put down Claro at all. It's just that Delancer has always been my favorite provider. And I said that to her today. And I was like, you know what? I also would love to talk to you more about business. And she has a few business. We're going to be talking business. And I don't want to put one foot in front of the other and stumble. But I just want to say, look out for the future, because her and I seem to have kicked it off today. And I'm looking so forward to working hand in hand with her, because I have a lot of great ideas and a lot of, we both are going to be able to do something. Sometimes I like to say less and do more, under promise and over deliver. So that's what this is going to be about, guys. So yeah, I do prefer Margot. And again, I'm not just bigging the place up because I love it, but they have great breakfast, great lunch, and also they call themselves a California cuisine, but you can get almost everything there. And I'm looking outside right now and it looks like it's about to rain. So I made a smart move coming home. And I feel good too. All right. And then we have Moaz, getting cold in southern states. Freezing rain for North Georgia has freezing rain, eh? Jackson Jeter, Margot has great desserts and pastries. They make them across the street. That sounds great. Pronounce Mo. Mo's. Oh, Mo's. Mo's, not Moez. Mo's. Mo's music. Jody LeGrand, hola, sweetheart. Mo's, Flip's friend, nice to meet you. We'll be at 39 Beach. Oh, yeah, 39 Beach is Milton's place, number 39. Super Bowl weekend. Oh, number 39 on the beach, Super Bowl weekend. Hey, I'll be there too. And you'll take me to Bologna. When are you coming, JJ? When are you going to be here? And Joe, here for information on Casa Linda. All right, guys, well, let's get started. I'm just waiting for a delivery from the Colmado, so they may interrupt. Looks like they answered me. No, they didn't answer me. They checked my message, but they haven't answered, so they'll get back to me any minute. We'll have a knock on the door. But okay, so a little bit of story time and a little bit of advice. You guys know how I do it. When I do a video, I like to give you guys a little background of why I'm doing the video. So let's do the story of why I'm doing this video in the first place. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I'm not putting down any outfit at all. The Casa Linda is an outfit they've been building for a long time. They have a lot of phases, so it's not for me to take away from the expertise that they have put into their place, or for me to take away from the effort that they have put into their places. That's not what this is about. I'm not trying to put them down. I'm just trying to keep it real with my experience and my client's recent experience. So, all right, let's just start from there's going to be a couple of stories in one. Okay, so I'm going to try to make the first one really quick. A couple of months ago, I did a story on an experience that I had with one of the Casa Linda people. They rent out for some of the owners. Okay, it wasn't an owner; it was someone who manages one of the homes. Sorry about the motorcycle in the background. So, one of my clients contacted me and he wanted to get into Casa Linda. And so I made a 3-way group with him and this other guy, my contact in Casa Linda. Now, after that, the guy from Casa Linda, he was supposed to be working alongside me. Now, I wasn't taking commission from the client. My commission was going to come from my contact in Casa Linda. And so what happened was he pretty much he allowed the client to go behind my back. And that client contacted him on a private message, and they were talking on a private message. I found out through a third party. The friend of the client contacted me and said, hey, Cerise, I just want to tell you that your contact in Casa Linda cannot be trusted because he's talking to your client behind your back and they're striking up a deal. And I was like, really? So I contacted the guy in Casa Linda and I was just like, look, why would you do that? I'm going to bring so many clients to you and we're just getting started. He's like, sorry, Cerise, you're right. I'm so sorry. And I was like, okay, brah, I'm not going to stop dealing with you, but now we're going to do business differently. Like, no more three-way messages. I'm going to deal with the client, let the client know what the price is and everything like that. And then I'll do what I do with everybody else, and I'll get the deposit and everything, and then we'll go from there. I was hoping that I could actually trust this guy to do the footwork that I usually do, but clearly I couldn't. So that put a bad taste in my mouth, but I did forgive him, and I did say, you know what, it is what it is. Sometimes people are just greedy, and you cannot change people, but you can change the way you deal with them. And that's what I did. Now, before that, okay, two clients of mine, shouts out to Francis and Myron, great couple from Canada, right? Before that, they contacted me, okay, months before, and they're like, Cerise, we want a place in Casa Linda. And so they had already paid their deposit and everything, even before this situation I just told you about. They paid their deposit and everything. So they planned way ahead of time, and they came for the month of December. And so they said to me, you know, I'm going to close that window in a second just in case if it gets too loud. And I also have construction going on in my apartment upstairs. They build them. So they said to me, you know what, Cerise? We're looking for a wonderful place in Sosua. We watch the vloggers, and usually we stay in Costambar, but this time we want to try Sosua for a month and then Cabarete for a month. And I was like, that's great. Now, this is a couple that loves to treat themselves well. They are in retirement. They're looking for the best. They're not just looking for something where it's going to be unkept, unclean, and just kind of half ASS way of doing things. So, you know, I contacted this contact in Casa Linda, and I got him to send me a whole bunch of photos and everything, and I sent the photos and the options over to them. And they picked one. They're like, we like this one. The cushions were on the loungers out by the pool, and it just looks so comfy to them. And of course, Frances, the wife, she's like, you know what, Cerise, I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you so much. And Myron, he wants to make his wife happy. Again, he's now he's in retirement, and he wants his wife to be happy. You know, they're Canadians, so they're also paying American rates. So they paid more than what they wanted to. It was more expensive than what they wanted to. But again, he wanted to make his wife happy. So they come to Casa Linda. When they arrive, there's no one there to pick them up at the front gate. When they get into the house, no one shows them about anything, like how to do anything. No one shows them anything at all. They didn't know anything, how to turn the hot water on or anything. And not only that, it didn't look the way they thought it would look. Okay, now this is nothing against Casa Linda. This is against the manager. It's not everyone in Casa Linda. So if you happen to contact a private owner, it doesn't mean that they're going to do this. And it doesn't mean that the management company in Casa Linda themselves are going to do this either. This is just one couple. Well, more or less the husband. I wasn't dealing with the wife. So anyway, what happened was they arrive, and the guy wasn't there to meet her. And she's like, well, how come no one's at the gate to meet us? How come no one's showing us around the house to show us anything? And in a villa, you would expect that because you're paying a little bit more money. So you would expect to be a little bit more pampered. And the apartments that you get from me, when you show up, I'm not always in that apartment. The owner is, but it's not self-check-in or anything like that. And, you know, you will get showed around and stuff like that normally. So now what happens is they go out by the pool, and the loungers aren't out there with cushions on them. They're just loungers. So that part of the nice appeal was already gone. And right away, she had, some type of complaints right away. And they were legit complaints. Now, her and I and this manager, all three of us were in the group the whole time, from the moment I connected them right up until the moment she came, and her whole stay, and even till the end of her stay. She didn't try to go against, me or go and try to add another group with this guy. She was really honest all the way through. Now, during the stay there were some aunts And he just kept making excuses. And she kept leaving voice notes. Now, she was not a high maintenance type of guest, but she is a guest that's paying her money and she wanted good service. You pay good money in Casa Linda and you're paying for a villa that is going to be more than staying in a regular neighborhood. You're in a gated community and you're looking forward to this for over a year, because over a year ago she contacted me and told me that she's going to rent something, and then that's when September came and they contacted me to rent something. So this has been a plan for over a year, that's something she wanted to do. So then sorry, I was just looking at one of these messages here. Don't have my glasses on though. That was pretty much it. She was not very happy. But she was rolling with it. She was rolling with the punches, and she was just like, okay, it is what it is. And then we met up. Her and her husband, they had a few gifts for me. Thank you guys for the gifts. They brought me like Canadian coffee. They brought me some pancake mix, some Canadian maple syrup. The gifts were all so thoughtful. And we're sitting around, we're at a restaurant, an Italian restaurant across from the beach, and we're chilling and we're, just chit-chatting. And they're like, Cerise, it's not what it was cracked up to be. We're not trying to complain, but we're just trying to keep it real for you so with future clients. And I was like, really? I got to check that message, guys, just in case it's the call model that needs to deliver. So I was like, really? Okay, tell me about it. And they started to tell me, and then Myron was like, you know what? And he's the husband, right? And he's usually he just wants his wife to be happy. You know how when women, they have their list of complaints, but he said to me, Cerise, I have a whole list, but off the top of my head right now, I just really prefer not to. And I said, okay, you know what? Write me the list, please, of concerns, because I would like to know from my clients, and in the end, after you guys stay. But they were still staying there. They were still going to be there for another week. They were there for 3 weeks at the time. And they're like, okay, no worries. So then at that moment, he said to me, how do we pay for the electricity and how do we get our deposit back? And I'm like, well, since you're Canadian and the management company is Canadian, they can just send you an email money transfer back the way you had paid for it initially. Second of all, the electricity, you'll be able to get that when you're leaving. And he's like, well, how do we even know how much it's going to cost? And I said, well, in the beginning, they show you the meter. And they're like, no one showed us the meter. No one showed us the meter. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange. Okay. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe they're not going to be charged for electricity, because in an outfit like Casa Linda, they have to show you how much the meter was when you first go in. And if not, then how are you supposed to know if they're overcharging you or not, right? Anywhere, you have to look at the meter first. I left a video about that last week. I think it was last Friday that I did a video on electricity. So you guys check out that video so you'll learn more about it. And I won't have to reiterate right now. But I would just assume that in an outfit like Casa Linda, they would be very thorough like that. So it was my assumption. Then the day came for them to leave. Hold on one second. That is the Colmado. Momento. Hola. ¿Cuánto cuesta? 4.5. Noche de 4. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. So okay. They left, right? And when they left, the management company told them that they have to pay for a broken couch. And when they contacted me and told me that, I'm like, okay, this is not like a young group of people that was there. These are like a married, retired couple, right? They didn't break a couch. They spent most of their time out by the pool, first of all. And then so the woman, she contacts me and she's like, oh my gosh, you know what? They're trying to charge for a broken couch. And I was like, seriously? And she's like, that couch was on bricks when we got there. And I was like, seriously? And then so she got back to me and she's like, don't worry, Cerise, it got figured out. It got straightened out because the staff ended up admitting to the management guy that the couch was broke when they arrived. So I said, okay, whew, because I thought I was going to have to break bad. You know what I'm saying? I always have my clients' backs. So yeah, I thought I was going to have to get all hood on them. So then they messaged me again. And they're like, Cerise, we're very disappointed. And I'm like, why? What's up? And she's like, over $200. Like over 200 for electricity. And I was like, what? For what? And she's like, well, you tell me. We stayed by the pool the whole time. Now, and I know that was what they did. They stayed by the pool the whole time. And when they weren't using the pool and outside, they were out of Casa Linda, or they were like, you know, leaving the door open, the patio door open. If you guys are familiar with Casa Linda, or if you're not, it's a villa and it has sliding doors. I'm gonna show you my sliding doors right over here behind me. So it's like open concept like that there, right? Open concept, even more so because it has it opens up to the pool. I don't have a pool. I'm facing the beach right there. So, you know, she's like, we didn't even use any of this. Like, it's not like they're using heat, right? And she's like, we rarely use the air conditioner. I don't know how it could be over $200 a month. So my electricity here, and I use my air conditioner, my electricity here is like 1,000 pesos a month, which is like $20 a month. And yes, in gated communities, and this is what I want to warn you guys, in gated communities, you are going to pay more money every month. It's more on the kilowatts, more pesos on the kilowatts. So it's kind of location, you have to pay more for electricity. So I contacted this guy and I'm like, listen, my client told me that her electricity was over $200. Is this normal for Casa Linda? Because it's only a 2-bedroom. It was only the two of them. They were only using one room. It's not like they were using the rest of the room. And he's like, well, yes, this is normal. And I'm like, well, I'm making a video about this because my clients need to know. And he's like, well, wait, you're going to turn people away from buying there. And I don't think it's about turning people away from buying there. If you still want to buy there, you can buy there. I'm not talking about buying. That's a whole other story, and I've heard other things when it comes to buying. I'm not putting down Casa Linda. I know a lot of people that live there, a lot of happy people that live there. It really has its positives to it, which I will get to in a second. But one of the negatives is that you are paying a lot more per kilowatt for electricity. And so I said to him, I'm like, well, I'm not really cool with that, but what can I do? And he's like, well, and I said, did you show her the meter when she arrived? And he's like, no, we showed her a picture. Like, I can show you the picture. And he sent me the picture. And I'm like, yeah, but were you there? Did anyone show her when she arrived how much the numbers were on that meter? Because each house has its own meter. And he's like, we can't do that. We're just so busy. We just can't do that. And I'm thinking, well, you got to do that, bro. Like, that's something you have to do. You have to make a point of doing that with every single client. And if you're too busy, you got to get someone else up in there. You pay someone 100 pesos just to go from the gate and to go with the client and show the client how much the meter was when they arrive. Because if they are not aware of that when they arrive, then they're in the dark when they're leaving and they're stuck with the $200 bill, you know? And he's like, well, only God is our witness. God? You want to talk about God? When you already stabbed me in my back? Please don't talk about God now, because if we want to talk about God, I can recite the whole entire Bible. And I was just like, yo, I didn't break bad on him or anything like that. I just said to him, I'm making a video about it. And that was it. And I think that was enough. And he was like, well, if you make a video on it, you're going to deter people from buying here. I'm like, it's not about buying. It's not about that. It's about telling people the truth. So again, that was one experience, and that was with one person. And I just want to say to you, I'm not turning you away from Casa Linda. They have great outfit there. It's very organized. They have a restaurant called Castaways where Chef Bongo from the Congo is. I did a video on him. The food is good. If you do want to go there for a meal, you may have to wait a little bit longer for it to come to you because it's cooked by order. It's not just all frozen food that they throw in a microwave. And especially if you are going to the restaurant, then you may want to call ahead of time and order ahead of time, just because sometimes they are delivering a lot of food to the villas as well. You may get to the restaurant and be like you and a few other guests around and think, why is the food taking so long? But the reason why most times is because they're delivering to other villas, okay? And there's a lot of villas there with a lot of phases. I think right now there's about 10 phases. So you do have to take that into consideration. Great restaurant, like I said. There's a water park there for children. Now, even if you're not in Casa Linda, you can still use that water park. And it costs 500 pesos to get in, or 250 pesos to get in each person. But that gets reimbursed towards your food. Okay, so it's really free to get in. But if you're not going there to eat, then you're not going to get in free. Okay, you have to buy something to eat. It doesn't go towards your drinks. I don't think it goes towards your food. Nice, cute little water park for themes. And so there's another pro about that. It's a great thing, I think, for that. Water park, good restaurant, and, there's a front gate, gated community. At the front gate, it's 24-hour security, and the grounds are clean. Now, over Christmas, on Christmas Day, I actually spent a night in Casa Linda. A woman that I know, she rented the place for 2 nights, a 2-bedroom. And I would have preferred to spend Christmas here in my apartment. Beautiful, closer to the beach, or maybe a villa, not in a community. The internet wasn't working on both of my cell phones. I have 3 cell phones. It wasn't working on both of my cell phones. And my friend was the same way, Ken, when he showed up, because he slept there that night as well, and so did my friend Sylvia. And Ken's phone wasn't working there on their internet server either. I plugged it out just to maybe plug it back in and see if it was working, but it didn't. And not only that, the living room was very small. It was tiny. The furniture was not very comfortable. The bedrooms were cute. The bedroom I slept in, it was cute. It was really nice. It was clean. The sheets were clean. The comforter, like the duvet, was really cute. The bathrooms were nice, but I have bathrooms here, right? Like that, where I live. So, it's not like it's luxury. Maybe it is, and I just don't know, because my apartment is cute where I live right now, right? But I just found it to be very common. But that was just the 2-bedroom in a rental area, right? And she rented it for I think 130 a night, and I heard that that's the shanty area. I heard that that's the area that's really not all that, right? But still, I have done videos there before, and it's not like they are all that itty-tighty, So all I'm saying is I'm not putting them down, but I am saying that consider other options. Everyone is always wanting to buy in Casa Linda, and I get it because it's a community, and if you are a single person and you just like the feel of having the security at the front gate, and you like the freedom of being able to go to the restaurant and meet other expats, or to the water park because you have kids, that's fabulous. But also take into consideration that there are other communities here. Again, I'm not putting down Casa Linda, but my experience working with them so far has not been good with this one person. The first time, like I said, he went behind my back on a message, and you just don't mess with other people's work and other people's, money. And then, when he did that to that couple, like I said, they're a retired couple. And they came here for Christmas. They had to deal with ants. They had to deal with, being in a place where the photos did not represent the place that they were actually given. And then they were being blamed for a broken couch. And then here they are paying this expensive price for electricity, which I'm pretty sure maybe that's not expensive, because I asked him, I said, is that a normal price for Casa Linda? And he said, yeah, some people pay upwards to like 300 and something. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you know what? A video needs to be made about this then, for sure, because you guys need to know to be careful with your electricity there when you go there. When you arrive, you ask for someone, and not just yourself, okay, but you ask for one of the workers to take you and show you the meter. If the manager for the place that you're renting is not with you because they're too busy, then, and we do get busy people that are renting out apartments and everything like that. Like some days I have 4 people coming in off a plane on one day, and there's 4 different places, and I can't be at those 4 places at the same time, right? So I do trust that if you have any questions, you will contact me immediately. So, when it comes to a gated community, then definitely say to one of the workers that's taking you to your villa, say, please show me where the meter is immediately. Don't waste time on that. And then when they get there, you get their name, take down their name, or even take a photo of them beside the meter. Okay, just so you get the day stamped and their face and their name and the number amount that is on that meter. And then do yourself something else that an ex-boyfriend and I used to do all the time in Toronto, because I'm a writer and I like to go to different places that are going to inspire me to write. The reason why I've been going to Margot's lately, because I recently started to write a new book on mindset and how we can better our lives and, do exactly what I'm doing in my life, just live the best life possible. And I thought I would start writing at a really inspiring restaurant, because I can have a meal, I can have a coffee, a glass of wine, meet other people who are doing the best with their lifestyles, and I can be inspired, right? When I was in Canada, I did the same thing. But what I would do is I would rent like Airbnbs in the countryside. And I, went with my ex-boyfriend, and we would do that. And the reason why I would rent Airbnbs was because I wanted a little bit of a different feel. But I'm not going to rent an Airbnb here because I love where I live, and I'm just going to go, across the beach and go to a nice restaurant. What I would do at these Airbnbs, my ex-boyfriend taught me this, is you go in and you take a video as soon as you step in the door, as soon as you arrive. Even you have not been in the place before, you get your camera ready, your cell phone. We all have cell phones these days. We have no excuse. As soon as you open up that cell phone, as soon as you open up that door, you go around the house and you take a video of everything that is out of place. Everything. A broken window, everything. And then when you leave, you do the same thing. My ex-boyfriend taught me this. And when we did it at first, I said to him, what are you doing? You don't need to do that. And he's like, no, we do, because we need to have a proof of anything. And I'm like, well, what if we don't figure out something's broken until it's like 3 days in? And he's like, you take a video of it and you make a note of it right away, and you contact the owner right away. And you say, hey, this is broken. You don't just leave and say, oh, that was broken, right? But here you would assume that people know what's going on in their own villas, in their own houses, and everything. You would assume, right? And I don't understand why Myron and Francis would be charged or almost charged for a broken couch. Like, again, this is a retired couple. They came here to spend Christmas 1 month in Casa Linda to really kick up their feet. You know what? This guy, management company, had the nerve. He had the nerve to make them feel like they were high maintenance, like they were complaining too much, like they were just expecting too much. No, they were expecting a very nice time. They were expecting a really happy, easy peasy, laid back vacation. Myron wanted his wife's Christmas to be good, and I'm pretty sure Francis wanted to make sure Myron had a good time too. But when Myron, humble guy, said to me when we were sitting down, Cerise, I have a lot of things. I will write you a list. I was like, wow. He never did send me that list because once they got out of there, they were just like, they washed their hands clean of it. But then once they were gone and they found out about the electricity bill, they didn't even tell me until last week when they saw my video and they were like, hey, we saw your live to air and we saw that you spoke up for your client. We just want to tell you how much the bill was in Casa Linda. I was like, wow. So, I was like, this needs to be spoken about. Even if I sell a home in Casa Linda, it's not to tell you guys not to go. I want to make that very clear because Casa Linda tries really hard to make everyone happy. Casa Linda has great villas. There's all different types of villas there, 2-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 6 bedrooms. And there's a lot of people that buy their place and they don't rent it out through these management people. They rent it out themselves and they work very hard at making sure they are super hosts. Okay, so don't allow this to deter you from renting there. Not at all. Just make sure that you are renting from the owner and it's not someone that's so busy that they can't show up and be a super host for you or a super hostess. They have to be able to treat you and pamper you so well that you feel that it's worth your buck. You're getting a big bang for your buck because otherwise, why are you spending over $150 a day in a gated community when you can spend $60 a day in a private home and get something just as nice, even closer to the beach? You see what I'm saying? So if it's a villa that you're stuck on and everything of that nature, then make sure that you have down pat all this information, speak to the management and say to them, listen, when I arrive, I want someone there waiting for me and to show me everything that I need to know about that villa. Period. Number one. Number two, if there are any maintenance issues, I want to know beforehand. Number three, I want a photo taken of the meter, not just sent. Like he sent the photo to them. And I said to him, how does she know if that's true? Oh, God knows. God knows. I love God. I'm a spiritual cat. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? God already showed me that I can't trust him. So how is he bringing God into it now? And I'm like, no, this is not right. This is not right. And you guys know I stick up for my clients 100%, unless my clients are in the wrong. If my clients are in the wrong, then I got the back for the landlord right away. So I don't just go in and say, oh yeah, I got your back, viewer or client. No, I am a fair person, very fair. Watch the video from last week on electricity, and you'll see that. But at the end of the day, we have to be fair to people who are renting at high prices in a villa. We have to keep in mind that this is money that someone is choosing to spend. $250 a day. Theirs wasn't $150 a day. The woman, well, $130 a day. The woman that rented it for Christmas time, it was like $130 a day for 2 days, a minimum of 2 days, right? With taxes and all that afterwards. I'm pretty sure it was like about 300 and something bucks and everything. And that's American. Canadians have to pay American dollars. So these guys were paying, I think it was these guys paid not 250 a day. They paid 2,500 for the month. 2,500 for the month. 2,500 and something, maybe 2,300 or something like that, right? Or maybe 2,600, something like that. It was closer to 3,000, I would say. After everything's said and done, it was over 3,000 probably. Just their problems, not over 3,000. I'm going to get the real amount, and maybe if they're watching this video, they can put it down below. But I'll get the real amount. But I know it was expensive because that's not necessary. Over $2,000 a month for a place is not necessary. But if you want to get a nice vacation, then obviously you're going to have to pay for it. And if you want it in a nice gated community, then you're paying for all of the other amenities, private pool and everything like that. Now, that's another thing. When she arrived, the pool was dirty. She kept calling them for a pool cleaner, not a guy to go over and clean, but just one of those nets so she can clean out the pool herself. This is a woman that appreciates cleanliness. And she just said that it was just too much over the top for her. She felt like it was much better for her just to rent some rinky-dink place outside of that community. And that, my friends, is what you need to be careful of. Not the whole entire place, because there are a lot of people that live in those places that are very, very happy. A lot of people that don't mind paying the electricity because they know what's going on with the electricity, and they know, they're owners and they're happy, and it's totally different. But when other people are renting out other people's places, so many other things can happen. They can raise the rent prices, they don't take care of it fully, they overprice for things. So you really have to make sure that you are renting from the owner, or you're renting from somebody that you can really trust. Somebody that's going to pamper you and take care of you in a way that they are appreciating your service. Appreciating your business. And they are under promising and over delivering, not over promising and under delivering. They are giving you much more than what you would expect. And I think that's what you really have to be careful of. Again, this is nothing against Casa Linda. I can't stress that enough. Because there are, once again, I have a lot of people that I know, a lot of acquaintances here that I see in and around town all the time, driving around, and they're very happy in their homes that they bought. And some of the homes that they bought were secondhand, not even built. I've heard some people that are very unhappy. They had their homes built and they're not happy with it. They feel like there's certain things falling apart. But that could be that they picked the cheaper of the cheaper quality of the products that they could choose. Like, for instance, if you're getting a brand new house built in Casa Linda, you have options of what you want, like trimming on your door, ceramic flooring, color of the caps around your glass, your crystal, your sliding doors. You can get black, you can get white, different things. You have options about the pool area and everything. So you get to pick and choose what you want. And the more quality that you choose, the more the price goes up. So a lot of people, they go in and they just want the bottom of the line for everything, because they just want to have a house built. And then afterwards, anywhere around the world, you're going to experience issues with lower quality products. So it's not to say anything like that. Again, just be careful when you're renting. Go in and make sure that you check out the electricity price. Make sure that you go around the place. If there's anything at all, any breaks, any tears in the furniture, anything at all, make sure you speak up. It doesn't matter what it is. And even if you're like, oh, of course, the person knows that that's there. No, don't take anything for granted. Take a photo of it right away and WhatsApp the person that's taking care of you, whether it's the owner or the manager. Always do that, because you're looking out for yourself in the long run, and you really don't want to have to pay extra expenses when you're leaving. Okay, so again, I don't want to put down Casa Linda. That's not what this video is about. That's not my intention. Let me see some of these messages here. Ooh, there's a lot. Okay. Oh, thank you for all these messages. These are great. Okay. Gee. Hold on. Here we go. Mose says, I follow you. This year I may stay for a month for summer. That's great. Benny, yes, Bologna is good. And then we have Joe, Tim Hortons. Oh my gosh, I had a whole pack of Tim Hortons recently and I fell in love again. I gotta tell you, I miss it too. It was the dark Colombian roast or something. I loved it. Joe, do you have a list you can share or photos of the issues? I don't have a list of the issues or photos because Myron and Francis didn't send me, but I can definitely ask them to do that, or maybe they're going to watch this video and they'll automatically send me one. And then if you WhatsApp me, I can send you that information. 0 for you. Joe, I don't think so. I don't think she's going that far with this. Wisco Watch. Hi, Cerise. I did get your message and I watched your video. I didn't catch your live, but I did watch it. Thank you for all the information you give out to people. Thank you for watching. Joe, you might be right, but she could possibly put it in the notes, comments section later. Yes, it definitely will. Just give me a shout on WhatsApp, guys, and I can send it to you personally. 0 for you. This is normal stuff. Imagine building a house down there. Right. You can build a house, but you really have to get the supplies and the quality that you're looking for. You've always rented. 0 for you. Yep. Wisco, I'm just looking for a place to rent from $700 to $1,000 for a full month. Is that possible these days? It's getting really expensive. $700 to $1,000 for a house is really kind of pushing it. $1,000 is possible, definitely possible, but you probably wouldn't get your own pool, and it's just really getting expensive. But I mean, you can get a nice apartment for that. And there could be a shared pool, and it's kind of like a community feature as well. Where down here, Wisco, Sosua, or Cabarete. This is in Sosua, if you're referring to where I'm talking about. Joe, yes, there's lots available. Join the Facebook groups. You will find them easily. Oh, geez. Okay. This is a conversation between you guys. Joe's from Canada. Okay, let me just get to Jeff. Possibly you can interview someone who's lived there long term who can say what the true costs are. I would like to, but a lot of the people from Casa Linda, they just kind of, keep to themselves. I asked a couple of people. One woman, she's shy. The other guy, he's shy. A lot of people, not just Casa Linda, but a lot of people just don't want to be on camera. And where would you support? Okay, let me see. This is a conversation. Hey, TMI, how are you? Jackson Jeter, what up with Dayton Castaway? You still stop by? I haven't stopped by lately. Yeah, JJ, I saw you in there that day. I haven't stopped by lately. And then eventually I would like to go explore the whole North Coast. Me too, Wisco. Las Terrenas, but that is too far. Yeah, Casa Linda's Ant Central. Is it, JJ? But I still like it. His Panola doesn't have the ant problem. Okay, Jody, I would love to read this book. Oh, thank you, Jody. Wisco, at 0 for you. Las Terrenas, okay. Jason, hi, Princess. Hey, Prince, how you doing? David Flores, hi, Cerise. Where are you currently living? I'm currently living in Los Charamicos. I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and I pay a lower price than what someone else would pay here because I work with my landlord on renting out a lot of his apartments, but someone would probably be paying up to around $750 for this apartment. Jason, so is this place not a good place to rent? I would say it depends on who you're renting it from. For God's sakes, feel bad for your clients. It takes a lot of savings and planning to take a nice long vacation. That's right. D. Hick, never assume that they know about an issue you see in one of these photos. That's right. Report everything. That's right. David, awesome information as usual. Keep up the great work. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for watching. And yeah, always report. Don't just assume that when you arrive that, they know. Because sometimes, maids, as they're cleaning, and this is not to say anything against maids, but sometimes people break things and they don't mean to. I had a maid one day. She was cleaning my bathroom and she smashed my perfume bottle, Mademoiselle Chanel perfume bottle. And it was Coco Chanel. And I was like, no, right? But she told me, she was like, come here. I happened to be here that day, and I was out on the terrace, and I was just, I was with a friend actually on the terrace, and she came out and she's like, come here. And I went into the bathroom with her, and she's like, look. And the whole place smelled like Coco Chanel. And I was like, okay. I'm like, are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? And she's like, well, I'm okay. Of course I'm okay. But I feel so bad because, she couldn't replace that financially. And I'm like, you know what? It's a bottle of perfume. Yeah, it sucked to, lose that a bottle of perfume. And I know it must have smashed real hard because Coco Chanel bottles are very thick, but what can I do? There's going to be some things that will break, but at least she told me, and she didn't just clean it up and get rid of it. She probably would not have been able to anyway because the smell. But there are some times where you might go somewhere and a maid did clean something and the maid did break something and not say anything to the owner, and the owner assumes that you did it. So always make a note of something that you notice that should not look like that. Okay, it's not that you're complaining either. Some people, they couldn't care less if the window latch is broken. They'll be like, oh, the window latch is broken, who cares? But you know what? It may be nothing to you because there's bars on the window, no one can get into the window, but at the same time the owner might think that you're the one that broke it. And so just always be careful. Again, I can't say this too many times. This video is nothing against Casa Linda. I just want you to hear this video and know what's going on before you decide to even rent in a villa, because there's a lot of options of villas out there. And, there's a lot of places in Sosua that's not even in villas. So a lot of people are like, I want a villa. And it's because it sounds fancy. Really, at the end of the day, it's just a bungalow with a bath, with a pool, right? That's all it is. You can, if you get something closer to the beach, you can get a nice humble apartment, and it would feel just as luxury to be able to walk to the beach. There's a great community there. You can get out there and go meet people. And if you have a dog, you'll meet other dog owners. If you're here short term and you don't have a dog and you're not a person that meets a lot of people, the beach is a great place to meet people. Just because you're renting in a villa and it has a community area, it doesn't mean that you're going to meet people all the time, because the Castaway restaurant is nice, but people go there and they sit in their little groups of people that they go there with. A person like myself, I meet people very easily because I'm a question asker. And if I see someone show up with something, I'm always going out of my element, and I'm always talking to people. But that's the nature of who I am. Not everyone is like that. So if you're a person that, is usually to yourself and you're a little shy and, you don't really feel comfortable reaching out to people and talking to people, then I would say your best bet is to come on the beach and, go to the same restaurant every day until you get to know some people, because most people do that. Like, for instance, I don't know, like the Italian restaurant over here, or even Margot's, or even, Fast Freddy's on the beach, or even number 39, Milton's on the beach. The more you go on the beach each day, people get to know you at different places, and they get to know your name. Even Jolly Rogers on Pedro Clisante, they have bingo. You go there each week. Go to places that actually have events, restaurants where they have social events. They have bingo at Jolly Rogers. They have karaoke. Sometimes they have like little markets that they do there. I don't know if they still do something called like the Thieves Market. It was like a flea market that they would do once a week. I don't know if they're still doing that with the world changing the way it is, but I do know that they have karaoke on Thursday nights. I think it starts at 7 o'clock or something like that. And they have specials. So go to bars and restaurants that are having specials. Go sit down, have yourself a coffee, a sparkling water. If you don't drink alcohol, you don't have to drink alcohol to go to a lot of these bars. Not everyone that goes to these bars here do drink alcohol. A lot of people just love to go out and socialize. So you don't have to be in a villa and think that you're going to get that community feel all the time, because it sometimes is even more segregated, because people go in little cliques and little groups and stuff like that. There's little things that you can do. Perla Marina has a place called Natura restaurant. And not only that, just to tell you this, if you do decide to rent on your own outside of the villas because, you want to rent at a lower price, you can still go to those villas. Like I said, you can still use Casa Linda for their water park. You have to pay to get in, but the amount that you pay to get in gets deducted from your food. There's also Perla Marina, where you can go use their restaurant there. Look up Natura, Natura. That restaurant I am hitting soon as well. Like, it's a little bit going towards Cabarete, so it's not like I can walk there. I do need a motoconcho or like a vehicle to get there. So that's why I haven't made it there yet. But it is on my hit list, and I'm going to go there very soon. There's even dancing classes. If you guys want to learn dancing classes, look up S&S Dance Academy. Summer Brewer, she's the one that puts it on, her and her boyfriend. And they'd go all around from Puerto Plata. They're on Pedro Clasante. Not only Pedro Clasante, but they go to a lot of places to teach dance. So it's a great place to get out. Don't think that only in villas is where you're going to go and have a community. It's not always a community. Sometimes it makes you feel more segregated than even within a community. Okay, so watch out what you're doing. Watch out what the price is of the electricity when you're moving in. When you're renting, make sure you ask how much the kilowatts are. And then Jackson Jeter said, don't forget about Carnival in Puerto Plata coming up. Yes, exactly. Tea Grooves. Oh no, not the Chanel fragrance. How you doing, Tea Grooves? You're welcome, sweetie. D Hick, you have to understand these places, especially the popular ones, are being ran through every day. That's right. As soon as a person checks out, another person checks in. Take time, inventory things. Yes, that's right. Because one person is checked. Very good, D Hicks. Very, very good advice right there. That's another thing. When it comes to gated communities that are being rented out, sometimes even the owners don't know what's going on, because they can put it on Airbnb and, someone just left there today and they're leaving at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're checking in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and, the maid cleaned up and maybe the maid didn't even notice anything. And then you're in there at 3 o'clock, and then you're leaving 2 weeks later, a month later, even 3 days later, and you're the one blamed for that. Meanwhile, the past tenant did it, right? So yes, that's a very good point. Make sure you always check out and be thorough with that as well. Check everything out from the top to the bottom. And that's another thing about gated communities as well. You may think that you're in a gated community and you're going to meet a lot of people. But if that gated community is not putting on special events like karaoke, or putting on any events like, bingo, or anything that brings people together like dance classes or anything, then chances are you're not really going to meet much people. So definitely check out the communities that have that. Now, there is a positive thing about Casa Linda as well. Another positive thing, I already said a few positive things. Another positive thing is the fact that they have a shuttle bus, and that shuttle bus will take you all the way to Cabarete if you want to go to some places in Cabarete where you can get the dance lessons and meet other people on that beach, or it will take you all the way down to Playa Sosua, and it drops you off and it will pick you up. So that's a real good positive about that. I'm not sure if it goes to Puerto Plata City, but you can find that out when you're renting from them. Okay, so just really do what my dad used to say to me: dot your I's and cross your T's and be thorough, because no one's going to be thorough for you at all. You have to really be thorough in everything you do. When you're renting in lower budget places, it doesn't mean that it is any less quality. I love my apartment. And when I stayed in Casa Linda, I was supposed to stay there for 2 days at Christmas time, like Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Oof, I was so happy to come home. I stayed for one day and I didn't even go in the pool. And I mean, I was happy to be invited, don't get me wrong. And I was happy to be a part of that. And it was great that the woman allowed me to invite company over as well. I brought 3 people over, 2 other people slept over. And it was great to share Christmas with, good souls. Don't get me wrong on that. But there was nothing there that was making me feel like, oh yeah, I want to come back or I want to stay longer. I got a little sty in my eye that night. I woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning with pain right here. And I was like, oh, I'm going home. And I'm not the person that's a suck. I'm a pretty strong lady, but I was just like, I'm going home. I missed my apartment and the comfort of my apartment and the feel of the beach and just the vibe of everything. I felt just so out of place, up there. And I don't feel like, I don't know, I just didn't feel all right. I missed the bars on the window. Funny enough, you know what I mean? Like I was afraid of those foreigners up there. And some people, they're like afraid to come here to Los Charamicos because they're like, oh my gosh, it's the hood. And yeah, it's the hood, but I feel so safe here. I was so scared up there. I can't tell you why. I don't even know why. There was some guys on the next lot and they were partying and, not loudly or anything like that, but they were over there and I could hear them talking and, and then I just felt like anyone could just jump through the brushes and enter the house because there was like no security system. There was no bars on the windows. Like, it was just taken for granted that you're in a community that you can trust. And I just didn't feel good. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I'm just used to the level of security that I have here. And I'm not a person that's afraid. I sleep in my apartment by myself, 2-bedroom apartment, and I'm happy, and I don't know. It wasn't for me. And so if you are a person that usually lives very comfortably and you're only getting a gated community because you feel that's your only option, that's not true. Sometimes the hotels deter people from doing that and they try to tell you that it's not safe. So if you're a person that has been coming here and you've been hoteling it and you're like, you want to now go from the hotel to a gated community, it's completely different than a hotel. In a hotel, like a resort, you actually will meet people because you're all there for 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever time it is, and you get to see the same people every day for that time. And they have special events every night. If it's a resort that they have like a little disco on or, they have little things on it, then you're going to meet people on resorts. So that's a different vibe. Don't think that going from a resort and then now you want to come here for a month and stay in a gated community is going to give you that same vibe. I would seriously encourage you that if you're going to come here for a month stay, try to stay in like, a regular neighborhood. Whether it's a tourist neighborhood like Albate, or if it's a native neighborhood like what I live in, Los Charamicos, or Puerto Plata, where you get a mixture of the two. You can definitely, Albate actually has a mixture of the two, and so does Cabarete. So, a lot of us expats, we live in the communities with locals. So don't be afraid to do that. Branch out a little bit and get yourself around. No matter if you're going to Samana or Las Terrenas or, Boca Chica. Oh, by the way, speaking about other places, I'm going to be doing a special on the island because I've been having a lot of people ask me questions and I've been doing my research. And so I'm going to be releasing a video tomorrow on Monte Cristi. I did all my research on Monte Cristi and I got photos and everything. I got the history on Monte Cristi. It's actually so interesting and so old, a lot of history, a lot of cool things. It's so different than Puerto Plata. They have mangroves, they have manatee. I didn't even know what manatee was until I did the video. A manatee is a sea cow, go figure. And they are herbivores, and they're the size of cows here, and they're endangered. And there's a whole habitat for them in Monte Cristi. And there's mangroves there, like shallow water with a whole bunch of roots of trees that you can go swim in. And then there's one part where you can go to a nice little place to get fried fish between the mangroves. It's so interesting, Monte Cristi. And so I am going to make it there one day. But before I do, I thought I would do a video for you guys with the history and everything of that nature. So look for that video tomorrow. It took me 2 hours to edit it, maybe 3 hours to edit it. And it never takes me that long to edit videos because usually I'm doing all the shooting and everything. But this one I had to actually do the research on the history and what attractions they have in that area. And I had to get photos and everything. So it was a lot of research and a lot of editing. But I'm doing it for you guys because I want you guys to get out. I love Sosua. Like, this is my baby here, Los Charamicos. It's really my home. And I don't have any desire right now to go and travel the island. I really don't. And a lot of people are like, you got to get out of Sosua. And I'm like, I've been to Santo Domingo. It's not my thing. I've been to Santiago. It's not my thing. I've been to Rio San Juan, Gaspar Hernandez, Veragua, Sabaneta, Cabarete, all those places. I even lived in Cabarete twice, all those places. And I mean, they're just, I love Sosua. I know I love Los Charamicos. This is my spot. But one day I will travel the island a little bit more. But again, until I do, I'm going to be releasing videos once a week on different areas. I'm going to be releasing 40 different videos. So that's a lot of work. But please watch the video tomorrow on Monte Cristi. Make the editing worth my while and comment below the video. Tell me how you liked it and, my research and everything. I tried to do it as professional as I could. And let me know what you think because I liked the video. I watched it twice and I was like, I think I did a pretty good job. Pat myself on the back. It's only 12 minutes long. But, again, it took me a couple of hours to edit it. And I'm doing it for you guys. And I'm going to be doing 40 of them. 40 best places in the Dominican Republic to visit. And again, I'm doing my research because I want to eventually go to those places. But again, I'm really happy where I am. I love Sosua and I love Los Charamicos where I live. There's so much. Today I was at Margot where I had, white linen tablecloths with wonderful service. And then when I'm here in Los Charamicos, I can go down the street to a colmado and the tables are like pretty much falling on the ground and, the floors are cement. But the beer is cold and the people are great. So it really depends on what you like. I love that contrast. I love being able to go to wherever I want and not being locked into just one place. So, guys, it's about an hour now, and you know what? It is a Friday, and I am going to just relax. I have my salad here that I got from Margot. I showed you guys in the beginning of the video what it looks like. I'll show you again. It's a salmon salad, and I'm telling you, there is a lot of salmon, and it's fresh. That's been sitting there for the last hour. The other day, I bought one, and I had leftovers, and I woke up thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat that salad, and it was still just as fresh. So I give them a shout out. Great service, great atmosphere, wonderful prices, and I'm going to be going there a lot more and hitting a lot more of those restaurants. I think I'm a little tired of getting overcharged in other restaurants that don't offer that same atmosphere, Other restaurants, the other day I was in a restaurant, like I said, I'm not going to say the name, but man, oh man, I was charged 350 pesos. That's like $7 for a glass of wine, and the price went up overnight. It was up 100 pesos more. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? I was like, why don't you tell people that you had that much of an increase? $2 more on a glass of wine. Like, you don't do that to people. Give me less wine. I don't need all that wine. Give me less wine. And, I will buy food. Wine should not be the same price as a meal. So I just want to say that much. And so I'm not going to be going to that restaurant as much. And when I do, I'll probably just go if I have to meet someone for a beer, maybe a glass of wine, and I'm not going to make it a hangout spot any longer. My hangout spots are going to be places that are just a little bit more inspiring and also well worth it, especially if it's a much more beautiful atmosphere and it's the same price. Now here in the hood, I mean, like I said, I can go to the Colmado and the prices are very low. I can grab a chicken if I want, bring it home for noche, and we're good to go, They're not trying to gouge tourists. Hold on one second. Jody Legrand, happy Friday. Awesome videos, Cerise. Enjoy the day. Thank you very much. Jay Fuller, hello, Cerise. Thanks for the info. I'll text you in WhatsApp. All right. Awesome. Guys, thank you very much. I love you. Have yourself a happy Friday. Feliz Viernes. Hold on. One more message just came in. D. Hick. Cerise, being that you live there, do you get hit with the 18% taxes on buying things? Depends on where you're at. And yes, there are some restaurants where you get hit with that 18% tax. And then there's some restaurants that don't. And it just depends on where you're going, right? Like some restaurants, the prices you just don't even notice that 18% tax, because it's within the price itself, and so you know what you're expecting. But then there was a restaurant in Cabarete on the beach before, and it said like these prices, and then you get your bill, and then there's 18% tax on the bill, and you're like, whoa, how come this is so expensive? So for me, I rather the 18% tax be within the price of the item. Just so at the very end, it's not like, whoa, this person, like, what's this person doing? And I think that just makes more sense anyway, just especially in a tourist town. Like, put the tax within the food or whatever, and within the products themselves. But here in Los Charamicos, no, there's no 18% tax. That's really only in the tourist areas. Here, there's not. If something, and everything is a lot cheaper here too. Right? So if you guys are here and you're looking for delivery, like nighttime food delivery or anything like that, right down the street from me here, you can get tacos for like 80 pesos. You can get hamburgers for like 100 pesos, 150 pesos. That's only $3 for a big hamburger. You can get burritos. You can get, that's at one restaurant, French fries, everything, and they'll deliver it to you for 100 pesos. Okay, and then there's another restaurant over here. You can get club sandwiches. They send me the menu every night. It's on WhatsApp. So if you want that number, you let me know. They'll deliver it to you. And I can send you the number. It's not a problem. Tell them Rubia sent you. Rubia is blondie in Spanish, in Espanol. Just tell them Gringa or Rubia gave you the phone number, and they'll know who you're talking about. And they'll deliver it to you, and it's great prices, and it's nighttime delivery. So if you are in your hotel room, or if you're in no matter where you are, here in Los Charamicos, Los Cerros, or Bate, they will deliver it to you, okay? And you won't get charged that 18% tax, and you will also get charged a lot less. Not just during well, usually it's evening that they do this, but during the day as well. If you want a meal for 200 pesos for $4, you can get something delivered to you. And but it's la bandera, like it's like the food of the island. So they will deliver you a whole bunch of rice, and then you get your choice of beef, your choice of pork, or your choice of chicken. And you can get stewed chicken or fried chicken. And you can get like stewed pork chop, or you can get fried pork chop, or you can get like balls, like I get them for Noche. She loves them so much. They're huge. It's called beef. That's what it is. Beef balls. And you get a whole, like about 3 of them, and they're huge. And you can get those with white sauce on them, Alfredo sauce. Here they call it white sauce. Or you can get it with rosé sauce, red sauce, and it's really good. And then you also get a salad on the side. And so that's pretty good too. And they deliver that anywhere from 11:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon. And that's what that delivery is. But then anytime you're here in Los Charamicos, you can come, and the place is loaded with restaurants here. And then in the evening time, if you were to just take a drive here in the evening time, or take a motoconcho here in the evening time, the food and the trucks are all around, like the food carts are on the road. Every restaurant is cooking, and you can get food, a lot of food, for very cheap prices. You can just hand them 200 pesos and say, give me a little bit of everything. And that's what I love about here, you know? You don't have to just come and say, oh, fried chicken and rice. You can just say, here's, at nighttime, I'm talking in the evening time. You come here and you can just say, here's 200 pesos, that's $4. Give me a little bit of everything. And they will. You know, the other day I was in one of the restaurants and I was feeling a little generous. And, you know, I like to pay it forward. When you guys give me, like, you know, contributions on my channel during live to airs, like you did the other day, I came home the other day and even though I don't know where the contributions go through YouTube or anything like that, I still took money out of my own pocket, and I took 1,000 pesos and I went into the restaurant over here, and there were a couple of guys eating already. And then I went in there and I said to her, Amor, just give me 200 pesos worth of food. And she did. And then I paid for people's food in there. And I told them straight up, it's because, you know, I got contributions on my YouTube channel, because I don't want to make the impression that I'm buying people things, or that I got it like that. I don't want to give people that impression that I'm just buying things for people, because that's not a very good, you know, thing that you want to, impression that you want to give out anywhere around the world, you know. I mean, you don't want to go into any restaurant and say, oh, everyone, meals are on me. You know what I mean? So that wasn't the impression I was giving them. I told them straight up that someone gave me a contribution and I want to pay it forward. And they were like, that's so nice of you, you know. And that's what I did. I went in there and I gave her 1,000 pesos. That's $20. And I spent 2 of it on myself, and then the rest I spent on other people in the restaurant. And a lot of those people in the restaurant, you know, one guy, he was really hungry and he only had 50 pesos worth to eat. And I was like, how much is your bill? And he was just finishing up. And then he said 50 pesos. And I'm like, 50 pesos? 50 pesos is $1. And I was like, well, you didn't have much to eat. And he's like, I had a little bit. And I said, here, and I said to the woman, give him some more food, you know. And she was like, all right, you know. And it's always a good feeling. So I just want to say, you guys come on and do the same thing in Los Charamicos. Come meet the people, the locals. There's a colmado that I did a video in last week sometime, or maybe this week, Monday I think it was. And you guys check out that video. I was in there with Elsa. And we were chilling, and you guys can see what it's like to be right here in the hood, and you can see how friendly it is, and you don't need to be afraid. And just come and make yourself at home and acquaint yourself with the people, with the locals, and you'll see that it's not always, oh wait, I got some more messages here. Stay Hungry. Thank you so much, Stay Hungry, for the $10 contribution. D. Hick, I thought the 18% only applied to tourists. No, only in the tourist area. Joe, the property manager sounds like a crook. Do you think he was overcharging on the electricity, the broken couch, and trying to pocket the money? Very good question, Joe. I don't know. I don't know. I know that he tried to rip me off on a prior occasion and I put him in check about it, and then he apologized very very quickly. He apologized. So he does have a good a I think he's busy, and he's he's looking for money. I don't like to call anyone a crook. I don't, because I'm pretty sure he does good things for people too, you know? Like maybe he steals from Peter to give to Paul, but somehow makes it up, you know? But at the end of the day, I don't trust him completely because of our first interaction where my client went behind my back because I three-wayed them. Like I made a three-way group message, right, with myself, my client, and this guy, the manager. And then my client went behind my back and contacted him, thinking that I was giving the higher price. And I wasn't giving a higher price. I was giving the price that the manager gave me, but the manager said that he was going to give me commission. So when my client contacted him, the manager, I guess, thought to himself, he didn't have to give me commission now, he can just keep the commission to himself, right? So is that deceitful? 100%. Is that greedy? Absolutely. But does he do it on every occasion? I don't know. And would he have taken the money for the couch? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think he thought that my clients were high maintenance. And you know what? If you're renting a villa at 2,500, that price a month, you should be high maintenance. You should be expecting to have a super host. I have a, or even like close to 3,000. I have a friend and she lives in Cabarete and she's amazing, super host, and she does not play around. She will have a bowl of fruit for you when you arrive. She will have a bottle of rum for you, native rum here for you, and she does it every single time someone is arriving. And even if you're not a drinker, like you can still take that rum and give it away to someone on the beach. But she makes sure that she has a bowl of fruit with all the seasoned fruits and everything is top notch. And so that's what I'm used to when it comes to like management people in Casa Linda and everything. So I don't know what he was up to. I don't trust him, and I won't use his services any longer. Clearly, I won't, because he's going to see this video. He knows I'm making it, and now he knows how I feel. But clearly, I won't be working with him again. I didn't say his name because I also don't want to, take anyone else's food out their mouth, and that would be horrible for me to do that because, again, maybe he's just doing that, and maybe he's just too busy. But and maybe he needs to hear this video so he knows to just kind of pick it up a pace a little bit and make sure that he's on top of things. But at the end of the day, I just, this is not to put down Casa Linda. They try very hard. They're a good outfit. They're building and they're making a difference here in Sosua. They're providing a gated community that is fun and interactive for people. So don't let this deter you from buying there or from renting there. This is just to give you a heads up on some of the people that may try to rent out to you. All right. My battery is about to run out, and I don't want to get into another position of not being able to say goodbye to you guys. And Carol says, hi, Cerise, been following your blog for a while. What do you know about DR listings? Hill, Bill, Chris, Duke. I don't know them, but I've never worked with them at all. I don't know them, but if I heard something negative, I would let you know right now. So I see their ads on the billboards and stuff like that, but I've never heard anything negative about them. So there we go. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want the numbers for the deliveries here in Los Charamicos, you just let me know and I can send that over to you and you can have those numbers when you get here. And also, if you would like to come to Los Charamicos and just hang out in the Colmado and listen to some Spanish music and get to know the culture, let me know. I also do relocation tours, so I can take you around the town. All right. Take care, everyone. I love you. Have a wonderful Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe.